What is going on, YouTube? It is your boy Sir Jorge D Great bringing you our draft analysis for the SSBL Season 5. Guys, we are going to be joining the SSBL once again, but it's under a new team name. We are no longer, we are still keeping the Sand and Eggies. That franchise is still going to be going on. I just thought that we needed another logo in case we have multiple leagues going on. It's just so that my thumbnails look a little bit different, or you can differentiate them immediately. So you see the Phalanx and the Eggies. Speaking of which, we are now going to be called the new franchise I am now established is going to be called the Phalanx de Guadalajara. I'm recording this a little bit differently than how I usually do. I'm editing this now, so by the time I'm saying all of this, there should be a logo on my face. But yeah, again, I just thought I just needed a new logo so that I could have different things going on at the same time, and we just weren't using the same logo over and over again. For those who don't know, in the APA, I mentioned that the Chivas are my favorite soccer team, so I just figured, why not make my own logo for that? And I actually like it a lot. I think it's very clever. It rolls off the tongue well, just like this and Eggies. So yeah. Anyways, with that aside, you should expect these uploads, once a week. Probably no team builder. I'm debating whether or not I want to do a team builder. Honestly, not doing a team builder at the beginning of every episode is really saving a lot of time, and it's not that stressful. But anyways, let's go over what's going on with the draft. So in this league we had 1,000 points, I believe, to draft a 11-team MON, or yeah, 11 MON team. There we go, 11 MON team. Originally, I really wanted Melmetal. Like that was like my star Pokemon. That's the Pokemon I've been dying to try out. But unfortunately, we were actually the wheel pick for this season. Actually, twice in a row, where we were the 16th pick overall. And so it was going to be really hard for us to get that Melmetal pick. But I was still hoping for it. And so with that, that was really the only Pokemon I really wanted to get this season was Melmetal. And unfortunately, it did go round 1 to who was it? I was just looking over. You'll see why I'm doing this. So yeah, we unfortunately lose Melmetal round 1. It's small snipe. Honestly, like if I had to say, like compare it to an actual gunshot, I say I got shot like on the leg or something where it doesn't hurt that much. And it's not definitely like a fatal shot, but like it definitely hurts. So there should be actually. That's the reason why I was looking back at the dress. I'm gonna have a snipe count because I was actually very upset. Like I was getting frustrated at the fact that I wasn't getting my picks. So yeah. Anyways, so that's count number 1. So Melmetal gets picked, right? And I'm like, okay. There's another Pokemon I really wanted to get, and that Pokemon was just normal Kyurem. Kyurem Black, and Kyurem Black was just banned from the SSBL. That mod is too good now that it gets access to a physical Ice type move in Icicle Spear. So I thought, okay, I want to get regular Kyurem. I faced it off in APM, and I thought, you know what, maybe, and I've actually faced it off in the NCP and the APA, I believe. So I really wanted to get that Pokemon, but guess who gets it? Quincy right before me, and I was gonna start punching people, things, and yeah. So that's our second snipe. Count should be somewhere around my face, and unfortunately, that pick was stolen from us. So next up, the only Pokemon I really want to try out that I hadn't tried out at all is going to be our first round pick, and that Pokemon is actually going to be the man, the only Sheath, the Aegislash, name pending. But yeah, we picked up Aegislash round 1. This is the Pokemon I've always wanted to try out. Usually it's been banned from other leagues, but now it's been nerfed a little bit. Its stats got just buffed out just a little bit. I believe its defenses are now like base 120 instead of 150. Aegislash is a really cool Pokemon because it's a unique ability called Stance Change, I believe. And so essentially, if I'm using a status move, it will go into a Shields form, where its defenses are higher, and if I'm using an attacking move, I'll go into my Sword form, where my offenses are reversed with our defenses. So it's a really cool Pokemon. I really like it a lot. Really allows the team to set up with like an autonomized weakness policy set. If I want to, can also set up rocks if I want to. I'm really excited to have Aegislash. I'm really hoping this Pokemon can do the finest what works for me, but we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, with that, like I said before, I had the wheel pick, so I got to pick another Pokemon. And so I was looking at the Pokemon that were available, and I've actually never used this Pokemon before, and I was kind of really thinking to do it, and now I get access to Hurricane. Will I ever bring Hurricane Salamence? I don't know, but it's going to be Ariel, the Salamence. But yeah, we picked up Salamence round 2. This is really weird, not seeing like the graphics in front of me. But yeah, Salamence is a really good Pokemon to base 100 speed. You can run it physical or special. You can also run it defensively. It actually has both 97 HP, 80 defense, 80 special defense. So if I wanted to run bulky, I could definitely run a bulkier set with a boost sub. But yeah. Anyways, with that in mind, we go through a few more rounds, and like I said before, we were going through it. Luckily, I didn't have much of a plan going into it. So rounds 2 and 3, I honestly wasn't expecting much. And so when we get to round 3, I realized the Pokemon that I really want are going to be a little bit more pricey. And so in terms of a Mega Pokemon, I should go with something that's a little bit more cheaper, something that possibly adds me points. And I was looking at what was there, and I made the mistake of not having a Dark type in the NCP, so I really wanted to make sure I did have a Dark type this season for the SSBL. So I looked at this Mega Pokemon. I've never used it before, like I said. I think it's a common theme when it comes to the SSBL. I pick up a lot of Pokemon that I have yet to use, but I think I can use it pretty well. So the Pokemon that we've actually picked up next is going to be Midnight, the Mega Absol. So Mega Absol is just a pretty speedy Dark type Pokemon. I really like its attack set at 150, which is crazy. Midnight, the Mega Absol can actually, you could actually run it either way, just like our Salamence. You run a special, you could run a physical, but I really like Sword Dance Sucker Punch and Sword Dance Knockoff, really, because that's gonna hurt our opponents a lot, especially because we get the stat bonus. And to pair it off with that, we're actually gonna be pairing it off with Bouquet, the Florges. So that's just a very big and thick, especially defensive wall for our opponents to deal with. That's really what it is. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can say. It's a Fairy type Pokemon. It completes a Fairy Star. Fairy Steel, Dragon Core. Bouquet is just a decent Pokemon. I can talk to things away. We can, quick side kicking off. It's gonna be harder. It doesn't have the best of move pools, but I think we're gonna be able to be just fine. So yeah, going on, there was a few Pokemon that I really wanted to get. I was looking to get a Water type Pokemon to get our Fire Grass Water Core. I can't believe I just blanked out on that name. So look at the Water type Pokemon, and there was actually two that I really wanted. There was one I wanted to get from the get-go, but it wasn't that much of a priority. And the first one was actually going to be Suicune, and unfortunately, it got sniped at the counter. And then I wanted Swampert, and guess who stole it from me? That's right, Quincy once again was the dual snipe. This, pew pew. I hope my head sound effect. I don't know. So I was like, well, crap. Well, I did say before that I was looking at what was available. I needed an Electric type Pokemon as well, and I did say before I knew this was going to be a pricier draft, so I decided to pick up a Pokemon that I've used previous forms before. It's going to be Spin Cycle, the Rotom Wash. Give me a second. So we used the previous form before. We actually picked up Spin Cycle, the Rotom Wash. I think I just said that right now. I got interrupted by some family members. But anyways, like I said before, Rotom Wash was actually a pretty pricey pick, especially this late in the game. And I was like, okay. I was comfortable enough with it because we invested in Mega Opso, who was a cheaper pick. My camera just got shaky. Stop it. I really like Rotom Wash. It's another ground immunity that works well with Eggy Slash. I just liked it overall. But our next pick is really a pick that I did not want to get at all. But I just I was very hesitant of getting it, and then I got it, and then I hated it. And at the end of the draft, you'll see what happens. But we picked up Fox the Talonflame. It's a good fire type. It's not a good fire type Pokemon. It used to be a good Pokemon until the Gale Wings debuff, and so unfortunately, it only gets one good use. It only gets one good use out of its ability, and then it gets hit, and then it goes down. So yeah, It's a fast fire type Pokemon, really. That's all I can say about it. But anyways, during these first 6 picks, I really was saving this Pokemon for last. I was gonna pick up Vileplume. Like the round before I picked up Alolan Eggy. Spoiler alert, I get Alolan Eggy. And this was the one that hurt the most. Because this is the one pick that I thought no one was going to go for. And lo and behold, this is like probably the headshot of the whole draft. Because I was really like psyched to get Vileplume, and then I got sniped. I was so upset, but it is what it is. I don't have Vileplume. I think it was Neomon who picked it up, or no, I think it was MJ who picked it up, and I was like, oh well, what can you do? So yeah, Vileplume got sniped before me, and I actually had Chuckle too. So I had my next pick and then Chuckle next, and then Chuckle got sniped right before me, and I was like, come on, man! And this was our 6th snipe of the stream, of the draft. At this point, I was upset, I was angry, I was like, you know what, let's just finish this draft, maybe we can get something we need. So next up, we decided to pick up an electric immunity, and we decided to pick up Gastrodon, Don the Gastrodon. We faced off a few Dons before, but not quite like this one. He is the mob of Pokemon, but we picked up Gastrodon because I wanted an electric immunity. It's a rock setter for us, which is actually so far I think this is sort of a weakness of ours, is that we don't have that many setters, hazard setters, which is something Bernardo has, shout out to him, who has sort of recommended we look into, and I think we definitely will. But anyways, we picked up Gastrodon. It's a good water type Pokemon. We have bulky water type Pokemon on our team, who are both unfortunately are weak to grass type Pokemon, but I think our team with Giga Slash Element, and then our next few picks, I think we deal with them just fine, with or without them. So yeah, we picked up Gastrodon. It's a good bulky Pokemon. Next is really was a mean pick. I see this Pokemon and I actually like him a lot. Not that I ever used him like in a Let's Play. I remember like pulling a Pokemon pack, and I got this Pokemon when I was younger, and that's gonna be Drop the Exploud. It's just a normal type Pokemon that can just Bam, Boom Burst, a Stab, Boom Burst. That is, I really like it. I mean, I don't like Exploud, but this is a bulky Pokemon that I can bring if I want to, especially with like an AV, which might be nice. But yeah, Exploud could really just spam the Boom Bursts, which is Stab for him. And yeah, that's gonna be our next pick. Next up, I honestly, these last 2 picks, I didn't know what I wanted. I know I needed a fire type Pokemon, and I know I wanted something more interesting. So the next pick, I actually picked up Zooch. The reason why I picked up Zooch is because I really like the Magic Bounce ability. If my opponent really wanted to set up hazards, I can bring Zooch and sort of scare them from ever clicking those hazards in case they get bounced back to them. We can set up screens with Zooch, and I really like that. And the next Pokemon we picked up was Zooch. It was a more speedier Pokemon because I felt like we needed it on our team, and that's gonna be Delphox. Delphox is it's a fire type Pokemon, and so we picked up dual psychic types at the end of the draft, near the end of the draft. Actually, I forgot to give. There'll be. We picked up Hermione the Delphox, and we picked up. Come on, I actually have not given thought to these nicknames, and I've been making them on the spot. Funny enough, Zooch. We brought Atux or Utax the Zooch. The Utax, the Zooch, and then Hermione the Delphox. But yeah, it's dual Psychic type Pokemon. We sort of struggle with Dark type Pokemon. I'm not gonna lie. We have sort of a weakness. But I think we'll be fine. And then finally, for our final pick, like I said before, you guys should not be surprised by this pick at all. I've been dying to use this Pokemon since the beginning of Generation 8. It's going to be our boy Sir Eggy, Alolan Executor is our final pick for the draft. And if people had picked their picks like on time and weren't delaying it, technically Alolan Executor was not the last pick of the draft, because I think, who was it? Hold on, let me look at this. Who was the straddler that didn't pick on time? because they're gonna have a word for me. I believe it was like somebody who's been in the SSBL for quite some time now. Hold up. If my computer isn't like fast enough, it was Astoria. Astoria, I'm gonna come for your ass. But yeah, he should. Technically, Eggy was like the last pick of the draft, you know, because I was the last pick overall, so we saved the best for last. And not only that, but we ended up dropping Fox, the Talon Flame, and we ended up picking, you guessed it, Loken's Guard, Loken Guards, the Phalanx. We picked the Phalanx once again, even though I feel like their run in the APA and the NCP weren't the best. I just thought, you know what, why not? Why not? And so, that's our team, guys. I hopefully have a graphic with like the whole squad right behind me or somewhat around me. That's gonna be our SSBL draft analysis. I honestly, everyone, or I'm sorry, I don't want to like group everyone together, but a lot of people just thought my draft was okay, and like I think whenever my draft was okay, not horrible. I don't think this draft is horrible. I just think it's okay as well. I think this is my kind of draft, but I think I did my best whenever I had an okay team. And when I thought I had my best team, you know, it went down to shit. So who knows? I don't know. We'll see. You have to stick around to find out what happens exactly. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap things up. You guys, wow, I am really out of it. If you guys are excited for this new league, this new season, this new logo, then please by all means hit that like button down below and subscribe if you haven't already. It surprises me that you haven't subscribed already because a lot of people do charge a lot of money. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap things up. You guys do know me as Sir Jorge. D great. Make sure you're breaking the word of Eggy, and we will catch you guys for week 1 of the SSBL, which will be here shortly. We'll see you then. Bye.